Good blessed Tuesday evening, May the 6th, 2025. The time being about 7:30 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaim enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do, that's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution, a freedom of press, a freedom of speech, a freedom to protest, a freedom to gather, and a freedom to associate. If you felons, you want to check with your local law enforcement officials to see if it's legal for you to gather together or do any of the above that I just mentioned. If you're on probation or parole, you want to do the same. Check with your probation or parole officer and see if you can do any of those particular things with other people that's on parole or probation or even being a felon. What I want to do now, I want y'all to pay attention, close attention to a video that's coming on after this for about maybe 23 minutes. You're going to hear some people in a supposed to be community meeting, but it's a secret meeting at the sheriff department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, around September the 12th, 2021. It was made after the Labor Day of September I think it was Sunday, September the 5th, 2021 in Wilson City when they had a car show and it was some shootings. It wasn't everybody that was participating in that. You see what I'm saying? But they, when you listen to these so-called leaders having this secret meeting in the sheriff department here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, I believe on Commercial in Franklin Street. Listen to each and every one of them. You're going to hear somebody that said that they the president of NAACP. You're going to hear an individual say they the president of the Charleston, Missouri Alliance Club, whatever they is. You're going to hear a person say that they a county commissioner, chief of police. The chief of police ain't gonna really say anything in one of them. Then you're gonna have the sheriff and say his captain to the side of him. But I want you to listen. They say they community leaders. They talking about a shooting back in 2021. But I want y'all to see how many shootings and killings happened since September the 5th, 2021 in Wilson City. That happened here on the black side of town, and I want y'all to tell me how many of them individuals that y'all seen in this secret meeting or this other video that's gonna come on right after that, individual, the chief of police and an individual that call themselves an activist and a civil rights leader that's a CEO and president of Stellar Consultants and Fresh Start Self-Improvement Center. Listen to them real well. And listen to how many times they said that they said they come and patrol on foot patrol in the community. Now you go around and ask people since 2021, which they wasn't doing no foot patrol then. They said that they call people houses and they come around. Ask how many people they come around. That they came around. Ask how many people in these latest shootings, how many times they came around. I'll tell you how many times they came around. None. My point is, these is some fake individuals call themselves preachers, call themselves captains of the sheriff department, chief of police of the police department, activists, ministers, NAACP presidents. You see, they didn't know why they was having a secret meeting. Triple R has somebody every place infiltrating these perpetrators. Just check it out. Check it out for yourself. and ask yourself, how many times had they came around? What was they at when it was about 20 cars on from Lee Street to Warehousen on Vine Street? Multiple people come from another neighborhood, and it was a fight, and nobody called the police. I called the police because I heard a female's kids screaming and hollering because their mother was fighting. You see what I'm saying? See, I can't go into the projects because I'm barred. The only activist in Charleston, Missouri, barred from all the housing authority properties. But yet, when people in danger in the housing authority, I can't go on, but I can call the police for them. I can't go on, but I can stand there and video and show. But yet, all these people that you're going to see in here, tell me how many times you've seen them come out on the scene of any of these shootings. Let me just take it back from 2021 to today. Peace. Chief of police, but the chief of police didn't say anything. He would be right next to the one minister that said that if the other chiefs was out, that how it can be, they can talk to them and things will be resolved, and how the black leaders said that they go to the victims' houses. Me and my daughter's been victimized by these thugs that they march with many a times, and ain't nobody can even prosecute them. But I'm gonna leave right now, y'all. You know, I didn't know it was private property, but when he told me it's private property, left off and he let it be known he didn't want the publicity. They don't need the publicity. I'm not trying to give them publicity. I'm just trying to let people see what's going on. 4 people shot, and you got 5 sheriff deputies in the State Highway Patrol, and all 4 of the people drove themselves to the hospital. 1 shot in the eye, 1 shot in the hand, 1 shot in the back, 1 shot in the elbow or the arm. You would think one of them emergency vehicles would have took some of them guys, especially the 1 shot in the back and 1 in the eye. But I'm gonna leave y'all. Another thing is, I talked to some of the people in Wyatt and Wilson City, and the sheriff said that they be on foot patrol. Don't nobody know about their foot patrol. We know they don't be on foot patrol in Charleston, Missouri. So from what, you might have some blacks that'll say that they is, but you know, the blacks that I know, they said it wasn't no foot patrol in their area in Wilson City or Wyatt. We know they don't have foot patrol to serve other police in Charleston, Missouri. Peace be still.
Yeah, that's the one right there. That's the guy. That's the game on television.
Hey, before we get started, there's a housekeeping item that I need to let you guys know about. On paragraph 9, when it talks about the suspects, when it says the 4th suspect is still wanted for questioning, change that to was questioned and released. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I want to make some introductions before we get started. I have with me the president of the NAACP, Rodney Jones, along with some other members of the NAACP in the community. I have Captain Barry Morgan to my left. Pastors from the Ministerial Alliance are here. Presiding Commissioner Jamie Kahn is here. Charleston DPS Director Bobby Hearns is here. Appreciate everybody coming. What I want to discuss today are the events that happened on Sunday, September 5th at approximately 9 p.m. It was a Labor Day car show event down in the Wyatt Wilson City area. We had a call of shots fired while we were participating in the security and making sure that event was safe, and a lot of families were coming to. The incident occurred, like I said, at a car show where the crowd was estimated nearly 1,000 plus people that were attending that car show. At the car show, I had 5 deputies there, and there was 1 Missouri State Highway Patrolman there to help facilitate all this. As a result of the shooting, there were 4 people injured. And all of them were taken to the hospital by a personal vehicle. Due to constraints and privacy issues, I don't want to release the names of the people that were shot. But what I can tell you is 4 of them sustained. One One gunshot was to the eye, another one was to the forearm, the other one was in the back, and another person got shot in the hand as a result of the shooting. When the shooting occurred, to maximize the efforts in gathering information, securing the scene, apprehending the suspects, Captain Morgan and I called in the Missouri State Highway Patrol Division of Drug and Crime Control, DDCC, to help us in that. What I want to harp on is that when the shooting occurred, my deputies and that one state trooper secured the scene immediately for the attendees there. And what I want to stress is at the car show, it was supposed to be a family event. We had a bunch of mothers there with children enjoying the car show. There were vendors there, food being cooked. Everybody was having a good time. So when the shooting occurred, my deputies, my personnel did an outstanding job, as long as with the trooper, of securing the scene. At the scene, there were 26 shell casings recovered in 3 different calibers. There was a 9mm recovered, a 40 caliber shell casing recovered, and shell casings in 380s were recovered. 4 suspects were initially identified as a result of the investigation. 3 of them were taken into custody. The 4th initial suspect, as I said earlier, was questioned and released. Of the 3 in custody, 1 was a juvenile. They've been subsequently released due to a lack of evidence. Other 2 people that were taken into custody as a result of the investigation are identified as Jamarquan Johnson, age 21, of Cape, and then a Jamarquez Johnson, age 20, of Charleston. And you have mugshots of those individuals as well. What I want to stress is this was a family event. This is unnecessary. I want to give out some thank yous to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, the men and women of the DDCC, for responding quickly. On scene, I had, prior to the event, we had discussed the amount of people, the volume of people there, the event, Labor Day happening. So myself, Director Hearns, and all of our staff got together and we decided there should be a command center separate from our initial dispatches. So we set that up, and then we designated my lead dispatcher, Stacy Vinson, as the command center dispatcher. So she was handling all the calls that were coming in concerning this event, and she did an outstanding job. The other people on the scene were Captain Barry Morgan, Chief Deputy Roy Moore, Sergeant Mike Borders, and Deputy Jonathan Hall. What I also want to stress is I want to give a big thank you to all the agencies that responded, because we were all working off of one channel due to our coordinated efforts. New Madrid, all their agencies came. Scott County, all their agencies came. Charleston DPS was there and the Highway Patrol was there. So it was a coordinated effort to get everybody out of that scene safely, across the road, cars gone, as well as conduct an investigation into what happened. So I want to give them a big thank you. Okay. That's the facts of the car show happenings. What I want to get into now is kind of where I'm at with it as a sheriff. I was elected by the people of the county to maintain security, order, safety, make sure everybody has a good time. And this happened on my watch out in the county. Didn't want it to happen, but it did. So here's where I'm at with it. It's unacceptable. I wish, in this day and age, that we had some federal politicians that would come out to the event, come down from Washington, D.C. or wherever they're staged at with their private security, in a day of grandstanding for police reform, just to get votes and cheering on social political movements. But while they call for defunding of the police, the brave men and women who hold the line between them and anarchy, that's unacceptable. So come out to these events. Come out from Washington, D.C. or wherever you are, and come take in a few things and see how we really live in the county. For our state politicians, here's a perfect example of a gun crime. But with Missouri's recent campaign of a hug-a-thug mentality, enacting legislation like SAPA, telling the criminals it's okay to be bad, but while at the same time telling law enforcement will get fired, fined, or suspended, or prosecuted for protecting our communities, that's unacceptable. Rethink the legislation that you're passing in Jeff City, because it's affecting real people, it's It's affecting real professions, and it's hurting real voters. Locally, I know the good people are fed up with it. They're tired of having their community shot up. So what I'd like to see from that is more local politicians, local community leaders come out to these events. I don't see you here. I don't see you at these events. Some of them do, but most of them don't. So it's a little late to act on things after the fact. It's great to talk about it afterwards because, yeah, we need to do something about it, but do something about it before. Be proactive, not reactive. Finally, I want to address the little thugs and gangbangers. That's unacceptable. You think you're hard, you think you're tough by pulling the trigger, you think you're being a man. This group is 17 to 20-something-year-olds. We have two little gangs in Charleston, the JBM gang and the CNH gang. JBM stands for Just About Money. CNH stands for NCH, No Chasing Hoes. So you go all your life and you go be a man, and that's the two best names you can come up with for your gang. That's pathetic. We're just we're tired of you running down Charleston. Your family names are ruined. The good people won't talk to us because they're scared of you. But I'm letting you know right now, right here, in front of this camera, in front of God and everybody and all these witnesses, that me and my department aren't scared of you. We've got the good people's backs. I wish the good people would talk to us. But by the time we're done, we're not going to put up with it. You think you're hard, you think you're man, but you're not. And your little girls and your little boys out there running around in your Hellcats and doing burnouts and shooting, it's unacceptable in Mississippi County or any town in this county. Especially when it's at a family event. There were 1,000+ people with mamas and babies. And when the shooting occurred, mamas were dragging babies through the ditch, across 62, which is a major highway through this area. It's lucky nobody got run over. I personally had to go look for a mama, or an autistic son, who got away from his mama, lost somewhere in the crowd. So it's just lucky with all these shell casings that nobody else got hurt more than they did. But I'm letting you know right now, you little gangbangers, you little boo things, you little bay things, it's unacceptable. I'm not putting up with it, and I know the good people are tired of it too. So if the good people want to work with this department, we're here for you. Just call us, come by, we'll meet you somewhere. If you don't want to put your name out there, we're here for you. Anybody else got anything they want to say? Chairman, President? President Rodney Jones, I'll let you have the floor. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rodney Jones. I'm the NAACP president here in Charleston, Missouri. And I stand in agreement with the sheriff and the city of police department. And we stand today to say we're tired of the senseless violence in our community. And we want this to stop. There's help. There's plenty of clergy in this city, plenty of organizations that can give you the help that you need. And we just want the violence to stop. It's senseless, especially at these family events where we have families here with their children trying to enjoy a simple car show or whatever event it may be. We just asking you today, please stop. Seek help, and we're here to help you. Just call us anytime.
Commissioner, you want to say anything?
Just to, as a backup to the sheriff's department, the commissioners stand behind your department with whatever regulations, ordinances that need to be enacted to help you. Like I said, the three of us are very much inclined to look at all options of how we can facilitate to from our perspective, what we can do to help you.
Director, you want to say anything? You good? Pastors, you want to say anything?
I'm Pastor Steve Betts, and the president of the Charleston Ministry Alliance. And we just want to say to our sheriff, our chief, and all of the people in Mississippi County, Charleston, especially, that we're here to support the events, but we're also here to support law enforcement. And whatever we can do, we're willing to do it.
Thank you, sir. All right, so as you can see, a lot of us are not happy with what's going on in this town, and I think we've come to a point where the good people have had enough. So we're going to stand together. We're going to work going forward together like Mr. Jones said, anything we can do to make it better, we're going to do that. If that includes law enforcement or community events or community policing, we're willing to do that and work with the community to do that. So thank you all for being here. Yes, sir.
Chief, can you please talk to me about when you do catch these individuals and the individuals that are committing these crimes, how are you going to prosecute them to the extent of the law? Like, what are these guys looking at? What do you want to see happen?
Well, these two individuals are currently facing 4 charges of armed criminal action and 4 charges of assault first. So our job is to basically gather the facts and present the case to the prosecutor. And then that goes up to the courts. So wherever that goes after we get it, I want them prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But that's not up to me. That's what I want. But between the laws that are coming down from the state of Missouri, I understand there's trying to be a reduction in recidivism, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I understand trying to help teenagers that have kind of lost their way. I get that. But sometimes you have to be accountable for your actions. Now, whether that's a breaking down of the family structure or the communal structure, or whether they're intimidated by law enforcement or they're not. This shooting happened 20 yards from my officers, standing there, walking through the crowd, participating, interacting with the community, but this happened 20 yards away from them. So they obviously not cared that law enforcement was there.
And that's my question is, what message do you want to send to these guys that have their buddies out there and they think it's cool and they're doing it again? Because it's kind of brazen to go to an event like this and put thousands of people's lives in danger. So to the guys that got caught, what message do you want to send to their buddies that may think, oh, well, we still need to retaliate or we need to do that?
Don't do it. I mean, the simple answer is don't do it. I mean, make better choices for yourself. Think about your family, think about your friends, think about your family reputation, think about your reputation, but that's what they're doing. They're wanting to have street cred, which is short cred. I mean, that's a short life. Go back and get an education. Do better with education. Make better life choices instead of going down this path. It's short money. It's a short line to nowhere.
Mr. Jones, you know, we come from a community where for the longest time it has been with civil rights and Martin Luther King and march this and say that. But one thing the chief said that rang with me is community leaders being at these events. Do you plan to make both of you a pastor as well? Do you guys plan to try to show up to more of these events? And because being in the community and saying that you're NAACP or saying you run a church, unfortunately, that doesn't resonate with kids these days. It just doesn't. So one thing that Chief was saying is be more visible, be more active. It's kind of like within the church. It's easy to preach to the individuals that come, but the ones that aren't coming are the ones you need to touch. So I kind of feel this way about these kids. As Chief was saying, do you guys plan to be more visible at these events in the community so you can actually reach out to these kids before an incident like this happens?
Yes, sir. The short answer is yes, we plan on, and we have been at these events. We participated. This community is close-knit, and we try to be at all these events to show our support, to give these guys directions, and always let them know that, hey, we're here, we're in this community, we live in this community, we want this community to be safe, and we want it safe for everyone.
And then after an incident like this happens, and it's been released, whether it's the families that of the guys that commit the crime, or the families of the victims, do you guys ever, or I'm just asking to, do you guys take a second to reach out and say, hey, because one thing that Chief was saying is that not just tarnishes this community, but it tarnishes the name of the families of the people that you guys know or their grandparents, you know what I mean? So do you guys ever try to reach out and try to help them and try to break this chain of negative events that's happening in Mississippi County?
Yes, sir, we do. We often reach out to families that's been affected, and as well as the ones that committed the crime. We reach out to those families as well, because it's important to show support across the board. You can't just go about thinking that, you know, look at the victim, look at the person that committed the crime and not look at the victim as well.
Or where they came from. And then my last question is, how do we break this? Being community leaders, how do we stop this? Chief is playing to say, hey, let me do my job. If you have a problem, come talk to me, come see me. That's what I'm here for. Don't do it yourself. Because now you're putting a lot. So I'm asking you guys, how do we break this negative chain of events that's putting your families in danger, their lives in danger, and the community in danger? What do you suggest?
I think it's going to come down to communication, cooperation, trust. I mean, we as law enforcement officers have to be in the community more as well, go into these community events. It's a two-way street. I mean, if we want them to talk to us, we have to go be with them too. I mean, my office we've been doing foot patrol and running around over there and trying to be more active in the community. But we're preaching to the choir right here. I mean, we are a small knit community. Everybody knows everybody. So if they don't feel like they can trust us enough to come talk to us, or they're scared enough to be retaliated against, hit us up any way you can. Through a community leader, you don't have to come here direct. We're a small enough town. You can get word to us, and then we can handle our business on the law enforcement side and bolster up people on the community side as well.
You know, from the church perspective, Pastor Cassell, Pastor Mooney, and part of the Ministerial Alliance, within our congregation, we talk. We're open. We do go to the homes. We do know individuals that may be having some challenging moments for whatever the reason may be, but we are here to let them know we can support you, but your behavior, if it's negative, is unacceptable.
So we're just all trying to find a way to keep the community safe. And for you guys that live in the community, does the community feel unsafe? Do individuals living here, are they in fear because this happens?
Unfortunately, I'd say yes right now, but some of this is culture-based. I mean, because at the end of the event, we had it roped off looking for shell casings, and there were guys there still on scene outside the ropes, yucking it up, laughing, having a good time, drinking their beer, like no big deal. So until some of the people in the community understand and realize that this is not acceptable, like the pastor said, and we all come together, they're part of the problem. They're part of the problem.
Well, I just think that that's my angle, just so you guys know, is that not just the police, not just the sheriff's department, but the community and community leaders are sick of it.
It's gonna be a concentrated effort. It's a multifaceted approach from different angles. Because I'm from the law enforcement angle, they're from the civil rights and community, they're from the religious angle. So there's different angles to this issue that need to be addressed, that can be addressed if we all come together and work together.
And another thing that really has to take place that we've done in the past is these gang members, some of them, when they get to the point where they are responsible for each other themselves,
Mm-hmm.
there's members of these gangs out here that does not go along with the shooting and the violence.
Yes.
And we can reach those members and have them to hold the other ones in that gang responsible. That tends to help also. So identifying those leaders, because they do change. The ones that were leaders before, they're pretty much gone. A lot of them moved, some of them in jail, but those leaders tend to hold other ones accountable, and that tended to help in the past.
You know, one thing that you didn't, I don't recall you addressing really quick, was why? Why did they do that at that event? Do you have any idea why?
No, I can only speculate. I mean, there were some events leading up to this event that we think may have precipitated the shooting, but we can't say. I mean, it's a personal choice. Why do we do anything that we do? It's a personal choice. When you pull that trigger and that bullet comes out of the gun, you made an active choice to do that. I can't speculate to why. I really can't, because that's an individual choice. Why those young men feel the need to pull guns and act hard and do the things they do. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe like he said, nobody's holding them accountable. Maybe they've gotten out, maybe they don't know what to do with their life. I don't know. But I just know that we're as a community are tired of it, and we're going to stick together and try to make a positive change. I think that's all we have for now. Anybody else got anything else they want to add to, or everybody good? All right. I thank you guys for coming. I thank you, everybody here, for coming. Just want Charleston and Mississippi County to know that
gun violence is really hurting our community in such a way in which everybody is impacted by it.
Community leaders are sounding off after 6 people are shot in Charleston overnight. Good afternoon, everyone. Ahmad Latham spent the day in Charleston to get a community reaction to that shooting. He's live in the studio now with more.
Jeff, I talked to a couple community leaders earlier this afternoon. They tell me it seems like violent crime is rising in the region and they are looking to find solutions on combating this issue.
I think we're at a place now where we have to address those issues.
Lester Gillespie runs Fresh Start Self-Improvement Center in Charleston. Early Monday morning, 6 people were shot in a parking lot near the C.F. Bowden Civic Center. Gillespie offers programs for local kids at that center. He says incidents like this are frustrating.
We have to do a better job in finding protective factors so that we can address the risk. And then we have to tackle it from a standpoint of getting families involved, having those conversations.
If you can stop it now, we can keep it under control.
Robert Hearns is the chief of Charleston's Department of Public Safety. He says at night the center's parking lot, known as The Rocks, turns into an adult get-together.
It's just an area where people hang out at night, and people should be able to, you should be able to hang out and not worry about getting shot.
Hearns says working hand in hand with other agencies makes a difference.
And try to assist each other and give out information so that we can get these people in jail so they can reduce the violence.
And Gillespie's goal is to find solutions in protecting the community from gun violence.
We as a community have to come up with ways in which we can protect our youth, our senior citizens, our adults.
The 6 people shot received non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still searching for suspects. Chief Hearns tells me they are working with other local agencies as their search continues. In the studio, Ahmad Latham, Harlan.
Now that y'all seen them videos, ask yourself, when have they been doing foot patrol? Ask yourself, what did the sheriff Brenton Farrow mean when the question was asking him why he think this happening? He said it's a cultural thing, because some of them was out in the streets drinking beer and laughing. So it's a cultural thing. He's saying it's a black thing. And you see these black individuals that call themselves ministers and NAACP members sitting there right there with him when he says a cultural thing. When he says a cultural thing, he's not just talking about the blacks or certain blacks. He's talking about them individuals that was in there with him too. They said they go on foot patrol. When you see them going on foot patrol? Then some of them talking about, oh, we need to stop the violence. 2 of them that talked about stop the violence that's black, go to the same church. They family members is out here, the ones, look who getting locked up for drugs and shooting in the black community. Some of their family members. But I'm going to leave it like this here. I ain't no danger. Take an inventory with all the Charleston, Missouri Housing Authority properties. The Housing Authority housing, and anybody besides those that's part of the good old boy system that be in the Housing Authority, in the Helen Kern Center, in the C.F. Bowden Center, our Civic Center. Ask him how many times that I did anything wrong. I'm going to court now against 2 brothers that attacked me. One of them attacked me on March the 20th. Do you know, having no victim advocate talk to me yet? They ain't gonna talk to me. Do you know the individual his brother threatened me on April the 2nd, 2025, and it took them about 14 or 15 days to file charges on him. Then they sent a summons, not a warrant, to go arrest him for threatening me after his brother attacked me. What was in it, them people that you seen in there? You know where was that? They was sitting back laughing. They was hoping that I was dead. They wondering why I ain't dead now. I'm a seed of God. That's why I ain't dead. But now a warrant was sent out a summons was sent to him on the 15th of April. He's supposed to showed up to court on the 30th of April. And they claimed the sheriff's department, the same ones that said where they go out to try to stop the violence, the same ones. Now, they just put a warrant out on them on the 30th. The warrant went to the sheriff's department on May the 5th of 2025. And they said they couldn't find him. Then when I talked to a sheriff deputy on Saturday, May the 3rd, and he said he know nothing about the warrant. His name is Adams. Look at one of my YouTube videos. Then Monday, yesterday, all of a sudden, they find the guy. They take the warrant back. The guy ain't been to court nan time yet. But when he came on April the 2nd to threaten me, because I'm going to court against his brother for shooting mace on me. But let me show you this here. Now, instead of arresting him, he go to court tomorrow, May the 7th, 2025, the first time being arraigned. Ain't that something? But yet you hear all them individuals in that secret meeting. You see what I'm saying? The Ministry of Alliance, in the NAACP, the Sheriff Department, and all them in that meeting, except the guy was asking the questions in my plant that was in there. All of them is just like Ku Klux Klans. Peace out.